Well, folks, we are going to continue on our Husqvarna 460 Rancher. I got some parts in. If you haven't watched the first one, we got this, customer brought this to me, and when it had no compression, and when we pulled it apart, this is what we found. A lot of carbon, and this saw has only been in use for about 1.5 years, and he only uses it to cut some of his bigger firewood, and he pulled it out this year to use it, and lo and behold, there was no compression. He said it wasn't getting gas, and when I got it, you could grab the pull start with your index finger and thumb and pull up on it, and it just rolled, nothing there. So when we pulled it down, you know, the piston ring is all adhered to the piston, and this is all carbon from what I can gather. I don't know, unless, you know, it had to have sucked up something pretty nasty, but you know, that's carbon, and it's either from running too much oil in your gas, or I don't know. Never seen one that bad. Our muffler, our screen's clean, but it just didn't, you know, and we had big chunks of carbon coming off on the piston. You know, this piston and cylinder can both be saved, but it's gonna, you know, you're gonna sit down and you're gonna spend 2.5 hours trying to save that piston ring, because you got to get all the carbon cleaned off of it. You got to get it broke up. You got to get the piston ring to start moving somewhere, so you can start working oil or cleaner in behind it and start getting it to move. You know, the ring gap, there is absolutely no ring gap on this whatsoever. I mean, you can tell this is like brand new, but all carboned. Cylinder just has some marks in it, some carbon marks run up the cylinder. That's it. So I went online, and the magic of the old interweb, I found an aftermarket. I guess this was a real problem with the 460 and the 455 Rancher. And the 455 Rancher is the older of the two, but it didn't seem like they must not have fixed it. And usually aftermarket companies do not make anything unless there was a problem and they know they're going to sell them. Oh, what did we get? There's our... Okay. Always inspect. Always inspect. Okay, looks good. Let's see, our ring gap should be right at our exhaust, our intake, just like the old one. On out of there. So we'll make sure we get this put in right. The ring gap always does go to the intake. That's the smallest port, plus there's no place for it to really hang up. So your arrow is always exhaust. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I know I'm going to catch hell from somebody, but I am not changing any of the gaskets, for the simple fact there's nothing wrong with them. Just work that right around and on. Nice. Wrist pin. I had mentioned in the first video that this is kind of built a lot like the Poulan and Poulan Pro, with where the whole jug comes up off of there in two pieces. Now this one, the bottom of the crankcase is still the housing, but they split it right at the crank, just like the Poulans did back in the day. That was quite a while ago that I was working on the Poulans and Poulan Pro. In fact, I was a Poulan dealer for quite a while. And at one point, Husqvarna was kind of got in trouble financially, and had sold their small saw division to Electrolux. And the Husqvarnas, the Poulan, and Poulan Pro all come out of the same warehouse, or factory, I should say, and warehouse, yeah. That's why it was like the 136s. I think the 136. What was the other ones? All their small stuff all came out of the Electrolux plant, and just different color. Now, why I put that one ring in first is because once you get your piston on here, you can't get down in here. Yeah, and I'm sure somebody's gonna bitch because I'm my saw is so dirty that I am putting together that I should have cleaned it. Well, as soon as you fire it up and stick it in wood, it's going to look like that again. And I know, well, you're going to get it inside the piston or inside the crankshaft and all that. Well, tough. Trust me, this is not my first rodeo when it comes to rebuilding chainsaws. Yeah, a little clip. Get in there. There we go. Yep, I've rebuilt all the way from the, if any of you remember or heard of them, the old 2100s, 50s, 51, 55, 272, 271, 288, 394, 395, 268. I can go on and on about them. Yeah, then they came out with all the aftermarket parts, and God, yeah, let me go blow this off before we start putting this together. Around this area, there's Husqvarna is more popular than steel. Why? I don't know. It's just one of those things. Most of the tree services use Husqvarnas. Although a lot of them use that little, I don't know what it is now, but used to be the 20T steel. That was the T standing for top handle. Because that was easier to work in the tree with. That was, you know, you could hook that one right on your belt. It was small, powerful little saw. It's a good little saw. That one I didn't mind at all. But most of the steels, you know, they're all good, I guess. Yeah, can't really knock one manufacturer. You know, they've all had duds. And they all have had really good saws. Oh, can I get on that one under there? Under that? Yeah. The one I'm really not looking forward to working on are the new fuel injected. I don't know, I think I think some of these manufacturers get a little too cute. You know, I understand why they're trying to go with fuel injection, because that gasket's still good. Yeah, that little copper gasket's still good, because they're more efficient. I think they're not quite as rough on emissions, so they're gonna, you know, California, they'll be letting them use them in California because, you know, emissions will be low with the fuel injection. And I think they're even, what was I going? Oh, talking about 4-stroke chainsaws. And I'm not positive, but I think some of them are out there. Problem with 4-stroke chainsaws, for starters, they're too stinking heavy, and I don't know how it's going to work, you know, the way you have to move a chainsaw around, you know, on its side for cutting, and, you know, and up, you know, I don't know how that would work as far as a 4-stroke, because you're going to be leaking a lot of oil up into the cylinder, so it's hard to tell. I'm sure I'm sure somebody's working on it. Okay, this should be you shouldn't need a ring compressor with this. It should go right up in there. Let me put a little oil on that piston ring, so it'll slide up in there a little easier. Most of these on the base of the cylinder. Let me see, I think I can hold that a little bit better from that side. There we go. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. Alright, find our stinking jug bolts. There'll be 4 of them. 5mm. I think those are the mufflers. I think those are there's my jug bolts. Right there. thing I worry about when I'm on these types is hoping that your seals slide up into their correct position. I didn't tighten them yet. Make sure it's seated in there before I start cranking down on those. The hell is that? A lot of times I don't talk a lot when I'm doing this because I'm concentrating on what I'm doing to make sure because I'm always thinking ahead as to what I need to do next. What should I do next? And then keeping my mind on what I'm doing. Especially when a saw is not mine. When you're screwing with a customer's, when you're rebuilding a $600-800 saw for somebody, you need to have your head in the game when you're screwing with it. At least I do. Try to, anyway. Because I sure to hell don't want to buy somebody a saw. Alright. Now what? We're done. Call a customer, come get it. I tell you, I hate that fall is here. Almost. That was the other thing about Husqvarna. Always having problems with their mufflers. Seemed like their mufflers were always falling apart. Let's see, those two, that's muffler bolts. There's the other muffler bolt. And those fours. Okay, where'd you go, Allen wrench? Where'd you go? Oh, put it away. Hey, that's a good place for it. Nope. Jeez. That is also a 5. Yeah. So now let's see if how many different 5s you need. Yeah, of course. Now you need the long one for the muffler. And a pain. I know Allen heads are better. They don't strip out as easy. We'll give it that. Favorite saw of all time? What do you think? My favorite saw of all time. A lot of good ones, depending on what era, you know. 70s point saws. Let's see, one of the best ones at that time that I really enjoyed running and working on was probably the Homelite Super XL 925. Its little baby brother, the XL 12, was a good saw. Those things were pretty bulletproof. 925s were used in the woods. The 12s was a homeowner saw. Homelite in the 80s kind of got a little, I don't know. There was some good stuff in the 80s from Homelite. Probably 360. I think it was the 590 was actually a solo 654. Then they had a smaller one that they contracted solo to build. And I'm trying to think which one that was. It's the same error. You know, like I said, the 540 was a 654 solo. Okay, muffler. Now, I had a hell of a time, if you remember, getting that carburetor out of there. Because I think they want you to take the handle off pull the carb off. I'm just thinking out loud here. It may not be the case, but I do know it's a hell of a lot easier putting that carburetor on without the handle. And then you have this happy-go-lucky stuff here. It has to go down, in, and lock in to these little rubber buffers here. You got one here and one here. Kind of some rubber mounts. Don't forget your rubbers. Let's see, fuel up. I think we better put that on. And I think I know you can't see shit. Sorry. Start working in these little tight quarters. Gonna be hard to show you much of anything. Come on. Good. There. That one goes on the bottom of the purge bulb. You call it what you want, I'll call it what I want. And we'll both be very happy. Okay. Choke lever. Now, can that choke lever has to be put on. Let's put the Can you see that? Can you see that up in the shitty seats? Okay, we'll clip our choke on. Now, carburetor's down in there. That choke rod is not on, clipped in. There we are. Now, more crap on this thing than you know what to do with. You know, I know the guy gets good at doing them. If he, works on them all the time. And if this is all he works on. Will that go through? Or do we have to put that on the carburetor? Let's see, we have to slide that pile of crap on the carburetor. Now, put it in its little hole. Is that upside? Ah, you piece of crap. Let's see. Flat, round on the bottom. There you go. By golly, I think we might be getting somewhere now. I'm not going to swear to it, but why do you keep turning, twisting? Oh, probably because going to sit here and watch me struggle with this steamy pile. There. There. Close. Close. We're getting closer. And, okay, we'll get one started. Them little nasty little, you know what's in there. Okay. Now let's that one. There we go. There, does that give us enough room? Hell no. Yeah, I know. I could pull one of them up out of there. It's got a little titty on it on the bottom where you can. Well, that's the secret. Nothing's lined up. Sorry about that. I got to spin this around so I can look at this and see what the hell is going on. Alright, two long ones should be on the bottom. And those Allens. Yep, those are Allens. And that's Torx, Allen. Alright, let's see what the hell happens here. Not promising anything. 4. Yeah, 4. Sure. That still seems awful long. Sorry about that. Alright folks, we're inside. I haven't had a chance to work on this for a couple of weeks. Been really busy over at the arcade and store. If you've been watching my other channel, you'll know what I've been doing. If not, then If you want to see what I've been doing, go check out Retro Gaming with Hopper, and you'll see everything that I have been doing over there. And that's why I haven't posted anything for quite a while, is I've been getting a lot of stuff done over there to get open. But now we're going to get back on this, and hopefully we can get this all finished up. Alright, we're inside, raining outside, because I haven't done anything with this for quite a while. But we need to get our handle back on it. Let me see, do I need to go in that way or the other way? We need to go up further. There's a pin right here. It has to go through that hole. That's for let's see, where do we need? That's so if your AVs rip out, then that has something to catch it with. It's kind of a safety. I know these can be a real pain. And this isn't the first one that has this type. Yeah, go ahead. Just fall apart. But, yeah, he's been after me to get this done so he can cut some firewood. So I figured we better get this done. Now all we got to do is get the throttle linkage put in where it belongs. Okay, I figured it out. And I told you in the beginning that this is the first 460 I have done. You know, they're pretty much all the same, except for when you start coming to linkages and stuff like that. Okay, the trick was to put the linkage in the handle first, then put your handle on, and then if you take this little blue and you just pry him away a little bit, he will come up. Get behind it. See, he flips up out of the way, and then your linkage will just slide right over into place. Now all you have to do is snap that little blue plastic piece back down, and away you go. Pretty simple, huh? Yeah. I'm sure it's simple to a lot of guys that have done a bunch of these, but I told you, this is my first 460. I'm not afraid to do any of them. And unfortunately, everything's metric on these. How about if we back you off a little bit so you can actually see what I'm doing. And I have a bad habit of not checking my camera to see what the hell everybody's looking at. So that's just something I have to get better at doing. Is always making sure that I have the shot, or get shot, you know, something like that. Put in all of our screws for our AV buffers. AV buffer standing for anti-vibration. Okay, I think I got one more here somewhere. Yeah, right there. That's better. Hey. Okay, now we got to feed our wires down through this hole. There's an access hole right there, where our coil and our kill wire go down through. And make sure it's not all twisted up like it is. Flip her on her. There we go. Let's see, we have to because you can't get to those. Oh yeah, you can. Let's see, spark plug wire clips in the top, and our two other wires. Let's go underneath the spark plug wire with them. I've done enough Husqvarnas that, okay, now we need to make sure that we don't get that wire pinched again like it was when we took it apart. Let's see, I don't think I was the first one to pull this apart, or it just never got put where it actually belonged, down in the tamer, the rerouter. Okay, let's see, there's your starter. top cover. There's a coil. Now, what did I do with my Allen wrench? Actually had to turn on the furnace today. Alright, I'm going to get these coil wires all put on, and then I'll bring you back when we're ready to do something else. Alright, on our starter cover, there's... Oh, by the way, yeah, you can see I got that all routed. Now we're not pinching that wire. It was being pinched right under the starter cover. Now it's not. Okay, now again, on our starter cover, there's three metal screws and one plastic. Oops. Get out of there. Oh, sure. Way to go. Drop that sucker right down inside there. Hey. You ever have one of them days where everything you touch turns to shit? I think I ought to quit while I'm ahead. Now there's metal, and then the plastic screw goes up in the top here, right below your handle, your flag. Yeah, and I know somebody's gonna complain that I didn't clean it up enough. Well, you know, when if you're watching my videos, you've landed on poverty row. I do a lot of stuff without electric tools, and a lot of stuff without air tools, because my compressor is pretty crappy. There we go. Jeez, that even sounds better. Let's see, that should be down. Stop is up. Okay. I want to make sure, because I really don't want it firing just yet. I want to see how it feels. Okay, decomp on. Yeah, that's just a little bit better. Oh yeah. We're ready to fire it up. Maybe. Now with brand new piston and jug. I will put the air filter on it. All right. Let's see. I need to... so nobody complains that I didn't tighten up the spark plug to start it. We're ready for first start. What do you think? Okay, that's down is on. No choke. Down. Yep. And fast idle. Okay. We're ready to put some gas in this thing and see if it'll fire up for us. Okay folks, I'm going to make sure you get to see first startup this time. I caught hell because the Poolin Pro I did, my camera screwed up and I didn't get first start. Some premix with some synthetic. Okay, up is off, down, trigger lock, decomp down, and I'm going to start it on the ground. I'm going to put my foot in it and pull on it just because it's easier for you to see me starting it instead of me picking it up and pulling on it. You won't get to see it fire for the first time. Let's prime her up. Alright, what do you think? How many? Probably more than what you think. Oop. It was off. No, up. Pull that out. That should turn it on. Okay. Definitely making a mess. Fast forward a little bit. I got the top cover on it. I got our bar and chain and the housing, the bar holder. Now a lot of people always wonder how tight to make your chains on these. A rule of thumb with me, this is just me, and I've been told this from a lot of loggers and saw shops, that you tighten your chain up until you can just pick it up and see the bottom of your driver tooth, and that's tight enough. That keeps your sprocket running and keeps the bar from wearing out, because your chain won't want to lay over a little bit if you're tight enough. Now you may have different ideas on how to do it, or somebody else may have told you how to do it. I'm just telling you how I've been taught and told how to tighten up a chain. We got our spline tool here for adjusting a carburetor, and so I don't make a mess on my little outside workbench, I am coming over here to the pile of crap that I have sitting here, and we are going to tune this guy in. I don't have a nice log to cut on with this, and I'm not going back down over the hill where I had the Poolin Pro, because it's a little too wet and nasty right now to get down in there. So we're just going to have to tune this the way it is, and then I'll let him run it, and if there's a problem he'll let me know. Cold start. Let's see. Up is on. Choke. Oh, she's full. I don't know if I did. That's too many pulls. I want to open the low up. I'm going to go not even a quarter turn. I need to get a straight screwdriver, so hold on a minute. So I can adjust that idle down. there we go, folks. I didn't have to mess with the high-speed end of it. That's right where it was when I got it. It has a really good top end on it. I don't want to lean it out too much until after he runs that for a while. Then I can lean her down just a little bit more and get some more guts out of it. He just cuts firewood with this. This is not a logging saw. He's just going to be cutting up a lot of firewood, so he doesn't need it to be peaked out to the max just for firewood. Now, if he was in the woods working, yeah, I'd peak it out, because those guys, most of those loggers, the saws get smashed before they get to the end of their life anyway, so you can peak them out to total max and really crank them up and get them hot, running hot. But this one, nope, just a firewood saw, so it can bog a little at the top end, and it'll save it a little longer. And I know it's got a good top end as it is, so I know that's not what was that caused our issue to begin with the ugly carbon piston in it. I think that's either too much oil or the wrong type of oil. Hell, I don't know. He may have been running motor oil. May have been running some used motor oil in it for for 2-cycle. Because the real old stuff, you used to run 30 weight in your gas as a 2-cycle, 2-stroker. But yeah, she's ready to go back home and go do some work and cut some firewood for him for the year. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I'm really sorry that the second episode of this Husqvarna took so long for me to do. I've been just totally busy with the store, getting it ready to open, and I just haven't had time to do anything except get up in the morning, go to the store, and come home and go to bed. So like I said, bear with me. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button and consider subscribing. I'll bring you some more good content on small engine stuff. Till next time.